Dubs with Flexible Warrior Yoga Health and Wellness. This is my friend, running coach, Katie Heil.
Yes.
And we just got done doing a hike, so we're going to do a little stretch, and I hope you will join us. So I'll step a little bit out in front of you.
Sure.
You can step a little bit back so
Yep.
we can move and stretch a little bit. So take a deep breath in. Hopefully you're out in nature. Get some fresh air. And just taking a few deep breaths in and out through your nose can help you really get grounded and reduce stress. Let's do that one more time. So deep breath in. And let's take a big dive out of it and come into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as if your hamstrings are really tight, you need to bend your knees a lot. And then take a big lunge back with your right foot. So as you step back with your right foot, you want to think about lifting up with your chest rather than rounding your spine. So pull your shoulders back, squeeze your right knee as straight as you can, and really sink your hips low so you get that nice stretch at the top of your right thigh. Take a deep breath in one more time with your breathing in and out through your nose. We're going to step to downward facing dog from here. So go ahead and step your left foot back to your right foot. Your feet are going to be about hip bone distance apart. And pressing your feet down into the earth, you'll lift your hips up to the sky. So that we can get a good calf hamstring stretch, let's bend the left knee and drop the right heel. And then bend the right knee, drop the left heel. And just continue to, it's called walking the dog, so just continue to pedal the heels out right and left. Let's do that one more time on each side. And then step your right foot up and in between your hands. And it might not get all the way between your hips the first time, so you can just grab onto your foot and scooch it forward. Release your left knee down, and we've got nice cushy grass underneath us, so we're good. So go ahead and reach your hands all the way up to the sky and sink your hips really low. So you're stretching right here at the front and the top of your left hip flexor quad. Now grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and just stretch a little bit to your right, which feels really good, right?
It does.
Take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose. And one more nice deep breath. Remember not to overstretch, just go to whatever degree feels like you're getting a nice stretch, but you're not overdoing it. Go ahead and bring it back to center. Your hands are going to come on either side of your right foot. And let's go ahead and pull the hips back, straightening the right leg as much as you can. Now, Katie is really flexible as far as runners are concerned. So she can go ahead and extend her leg all the way straight. But for a lot of you, if your hamstrings are tight, just keep that knee bent. But focus on pulling your hips really far back so that you extend through your spine and get a little bit more length through your hamstring. Let's take one more nice deep breath. This is my favorite stretch for hamstring. And then go ahead and bend your right knee, shift your weight forward, curl your left toes under, and then just step your left foot up to meet your right foot. Bring your toes together to touch. Let's come halfway up. So hands will come to shins. Pull your hips back, lift your chest and your tailbone, and then exhale, round your spine into forward fold. Now you're going to take your feet about hip bone distance apart, a little wider. Grab onto opposite elbows, and we're going to do ragdoll. So you're just going to sway a little bit from right to left. Make sure you're letting the weight of your head completely relax, so chin is towards your chest. And then find stillness in the center and just hang out a little bit more, getting a nice stretch for your low back and your hamstrings. And then fingertips can touch the ground. You're going to turn your toes out a little bit, and we're going to drop down to a prayer squat, which is such a nice one for groin, inner thigh, and hips. So you can also rock a little bit with this if you want to. And also, I like to bring the fingertips down to touch the forehead and just really focus on breathing as deeply as you can into your low back, into your lungs as completely as possible. So you're really filling your lungs with nice, fresh, new air. Let's take one more breath. And as you exhale, see if you can drop tension a little bit more and release into your hips. And then go ahead and reach your fingertips down into the ground. Lift your hips up towards the sky. Toe heel your feet together so your toes are side by side. Let's come halfway up again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Chin to chest, nose to knees. Come up to standing. It's called reverse swan dive. You want to reach your arms all the way out and up. Stretch and reach for the sky. And then let's do it again on the other side. So exhale, forward fold, bow forward. Look forward, halfway lift. Take a huge breath in through your nose. Exhale, forward fold, big lunge back with your left foot. So same thing, you want to squeeze your left knee as straight as possible, drop your hips low, but lift your chest up so you're pulling your shoulders back and down from your ears. So most of the segments that I like to do are like 10 minutes because I feel like that's realistic for pretty much every person on the planet, especially busy runners, right?
Yes.
So we're going to try to stick to that today. Go ahead and step to downward facing dog. So if you're going to do one pose after your run, this would be the one pose you want to do. And again, to get the calf and Achilles and the back of your ankle, bend your knees, pedal out right and left, and really spread your fingertips out wide and press down through your hands. One more pedal right and left, and then drop both heels down, lift your toes up, lift your tailbone really high, and then step your left foot up and in between your hands. And again, if it doesn't make it all the way forward, just grab onto it and scooch it forward so that your knee's right out over your ankle. Release your right knee down, take a deep breath in, and then pull your hips back for that runner's lunge. So again, feel free to keep a bend in that knee, or if you can straighten your leg, feel free to do that if that feels good for you. But if you think about pulling your hips back and pulling your tailbone up towards the sky, you're gonna get a little bit of a deeper stretch. Take a couple deep breaths in and out through your nose, and enjoy opening up the back of your hamstring. And then let's go ahead and shift the weight forward. Bend that left knee, curl your right toes under, step your right foot up to meet your left foot, toes line up, halfway lift, deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Now go ahead and scoot your feet out about hip bone distance apart, so a little wider than hips is actually good too. And grab onto opposite elbows, ragdoll, sway from right to left. Let the back of your neck relax. And then find stillness in the center and see if you can relax your torso even more. Release your fingertips down to touch the ground. Turn your toes a little bit out and your heels in so you can drop your hips down and get a good stretch through the groin. So if your heels don't touch down here, that's okay too. What you can do is take maybe a towel or a yoga mat and roll it up and put it under the heels. So if you're really tight through your ankles and your calves, your heels won't touch. And that's okay, they might over time, but for today, you can get a little bit extra support by putting some prop underneath your your heels. So one more breath, and again, if you want to touch your forehead and fingertips together and really focus on your breathing. And then release your fingertips down to the ground, lift your hips up to the sky, toe heel your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift, belly pulls in, shoulders pull back, lengthen from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, rounding your spine. Come up to standing with a deep breath in. So really reach for the sky and fill your lungs. And then exhale, hands through to heart center. Now because we're on the grass, we didn't do a quad stretch. We're gonna do one quick balanced quad stretch, which is a little bit of a tricky one for some people, so we might lose our balance, but we're gonna give it a try. So you're gonna balance in your left leg, reach around, grab the inside of your right foot with your right hand. So if you're barefooted, your right thumb would be right out over your big toe. Your left hand can be towards the sky, so your left arm's right by your left ear, and you can feel free to stay right here. This is a great quad stretch. You can push your hips a little forward, pull your belly in, or if you want to go a little deeper, this is called dancer's pose. So you'd kick out, kicking your foot into your hand and reaching your left hand to the sky. Working on balance and stability on that left ankle and foot, and of course a stretch at the same time. Go ahead and bring it all the way up and bring your hands together at your heart. Inhale, deep breath in. Let's get that on the other side. Exhale, hands down by your side. You're going to shift your weight into your opposite foot. Reach around. Again, feel free to stay right here. So belly pulls in, hips gently press forward. You'll probably feel the quad stretch. And if you want to do a little bit more, get a little more dramatic with your pose, you can go ahead and shift forward. And as you kick your foot into your hand, you'll feel the stretch get a little more intense. Reach your other hand up to the sky. Take one more breath. Again, great for stability in your ankle and foot. And bring your feet together. Hands at heart center. Take a deep breath in just to finish up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome job, you guys. Hope I kept it to about 10 minutes. Consistency is key.
Yes.
Nice job.
Good job.